What is Tikkun Olam? Tikkun Olam is a Jewish term that translates to repair of the world or healing of the world. The concept of Tikkun Olam is central to Judaism and has been embraced by many Jewish communities around the world. It's a concept that encourages us to engage in acts of kindness, justice, and compassion, and to make the world a better place. I love this painting. Tikkun Olam is based on the idea that the world has been broken and needs to be repaired. It's our responsibility to act and to help fix the problems we see around us. This can involve many different types of actions, from volunteering at a local charity to advocating for social justice issues. But you might wonder, where did this concept of the world being broken come from? Isaac Luria, who lived in the 1500s, was a prominent Kabbalistic scholar. He's credited with creating new myths of Kabbalistic interpretation of God's creation of the universe. You might wonder why I'm talking about new myths. The thing is that when you study Kabbalah, it is not a single document. Kabbalistic tradition transcends centuries and takes place in various countries. Portugal, Germany, Spain, parts of North Africa, Israel, of course. Anyway, prominent among these new myths was the story of the Shavira, or shattering of the vessels of the Sephira on the Tree of Life. And you'll remember, I hope, from a couple other talks, this is a two-dimensional picture of the Tree of Life, where God created the universe up here, above Keter, in his form of limitless light, and put his power through the Sephira all the way down to where we sit today in Malkut, which is a physical plane. It's the world where we are today. It's where our bodies are anyway. And the Kabbalistic Tree of Life, it consists of these planes going from the highest planes to the creative world, the formative world where we were actually made into material, and the physical world where we sit on earth. So what's the story of the shattering of the vessels and the Sephira Tree of Life? This was God's first attempt at the creation of the universe, and is beautifully described in Howard Schwartz's book, The Tree of Souls. But as I've stated here, it didn't quite go as planned. Anyway, from the Tree of Souls. At the beginning of time, God's presence filled the universe. When God decided to bring this world into being, to make room for creation, he first drew his breath, contracting himself. From that contraction, darkness was created because he was everywhere. There was no darkness, there was no light. And when God said, "Let there be light," as he did in Genesis 1 through 3, the light that came into being filled the darkness. And 10 holy vessels came forth, each filled with primordial light. And he's talking about these 10 Sephirot and these paths. In this way, God sent forth these 10 vessels like a fleet of ships, each carrying its cargo of light. Had they all arrived intact, the world would have been perfect. Ooh, that would have been nice. But the vessels were too fragile to contain such a powerful divine light. They broke open. They split asunder, and all of the holy sparks were scattered like sand, like seeds, like stars. Those sparks fell everywhere. That is why we were created, you and I, to gather the sparks no matter where they are hidden. And when enough holy sparks have been gathered, the broken vessels will be restored. And Tikkun Olam, the repair of the world, awaited so long, will finally be complete. Therefore, it should be the aim of everyone to raise those sparks from wherever they are imprisoned and to elevate them to holiness by the power of their soul. This is where the concept of the world being broken comes from. Repairing the world is important work. By the way, there are a number of stories about exactly how that all happened. The one I've seen most commonly is when the light burst forth, creating the world. It didn't break this upper segment, which is the plane of spirit, but when it got to these other vessels, these sephirot, they couldn't handle it, and pieces of them burst off. That's why we have imperfection in the world. These sephirot are not evil, and that's a whole nother talk, because they contain the holy spark, but they are broken and they need repair. Okay, so talked about repair of the world and Tikkun Olam. How can we engage in Tikkun Olam in our everyday lives? I've got a suggestion. How to save your life using your thumb and 2 fingers. Carry Narcan, which is naloxone. Learn how to use it. You can reverse an overdose with this instrument. Mm-hmm. In Santa Barbara County, there were a total of 168 overdose deaths in 2022, 115 related to fentanyl, up from 133 in 2021 with 37 related to fentanyl, increasing exponentially. Santa Barbara County Sheriff, the head of the department, Bill Brown, who's led the office since 2007, has stated, Narcan, which is short for naloxone, is a harmless yet miraculous drug that reverses the often lethal effects of an opiate overdose. Simply put, it's easy to use and it saves lives. Making more Narcan available to community members will help us lower the unacceptably high rate of overdose deaths we are seeing in our community and across the nation. Narcan is easy to use and it's available for free. My wife and I carry Narcan in our cars and are prepared to use it to save lives. No, you can't see this. I've still got it on that. It's going to show you something else. So 4, information on Narcan is really quite simple. You do have to learn how to use it. It takes about 10 minutes, and it's just a written thing. They also have YouTube videos on how to use it. There's many community sites where you can get it. If you go to this website, right here, fentanylisforeversb.org, click at the top, it says Get Naloxone. It will provide those resources. I got mine and Terry's at UCSB. We're both alumni. We got it there. You can get it at all of the emergency departments. You walk in and say, I would like some naloxone. They will give it to you anonymously and for free. This also has a link where you can get it through the mail for free. So if you want more information, call or text or email me for this information. Brian Bailey, there's my phone number, there's my email address.